Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 9 Soviet destroyer, Udaloi. He has 18,800 health, a top speed of 40 knots, 6 130mm guns, 15 torpedoes, a surface detect of 8.9 kilometers, and 50 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, improved rate of fire, reduced the chance of flood and fire, improved propulsion, improved steering module. For my commander, priority target, last stand, basic firing training, and advanced firing training. We're on the map Mountain Range, and I was working on my commanders just to make sure, although you don't need to do that after the fact, but I was playing the Udaloi. The Udaloi is not changing tiers in 0.6.2, but it's still a great ship to play, and I chose to play it. Now, I headed over to B point in an attempt. As a destroyer, you might go after a point, and obviously an enemy destroyer was there. It's the Shimakaze, and the Shimakaze has way better concealment, something like 3 kilometers, so he could dictate. Now, I made a mistake in that moment. I fired my gun, and you recognize his playstyle. He did not fire his gun until I fired my gun. Why would he do that? He is trying to spot me for his team, force me to fire in front of his team, and then he could stay within his smoke cloud, see me because of the case that I was firing, and then exploit that fact. That is what he was hoping to do, and that's in fact what he did. Now, I don't know where he went, so I sort of sent my torpedoes wide, and he, of course, is going to send his. The Shimakaze, 15 torpedoes. It can't rearm like the Shiratsuyu or the Akizuki. I was sailing directly at him in an attempt to avoid these torpedoes, which it did indeed help me out. Now, the interesting thing about the Udaloi, it's very odd in this regard, it has a torpedo that is neutral, so it has 3 sets, so I could theoretically set up a port side torpedo and still have it for him, and I was like, yeah, surely he's right here. And he left the capture point, so I'm like, don't leave the smoke, Notser! And of course, we leave the smoke, and I can't believe he's over there. How in the hell did he get over there so quickly? Either way, go back in the smoke and capture the base. If he has the balls to come towards me and disrupt the capture, I have teammates right there. It's very dangerous. He does not have his smoke, so I have the advantage. Maintain capture control. Once we capture, we will, at least once we attempt the capture, we got lucky. The smoke ended with, what, 2 seconds left? Once we capture, then we will engage, and everyone on my team will be able to see him because he's just too close. He's trying to hide. Not going to work, my friend. Not going to work. And I don't really care that all guns can see. I mean, it's a broadside target. I'm going to beat him in DPS. The only time you really want to minimize your angling is if there's a threat that they can answer the same DPS, and his friends can certainly answer the same DPS, so I was a little aggressive, trying to kill him off. I didn't want him to get away. This is the best chance I have to kill him off, and is it enough? It is. We just barely got him. I mean, just barely. I think he was dropping off detection. But we did, and that's helpful. There's only one enemy destroyer left. If we can take him out, my friendly battleships should feel extremely comfortable. But, of course, the one enemy destroyer drops off detection. We have plenty of targets in front of us. We have a couple Burgundies. Why do you say Burgundy? Well, because it's Mr. Burgundy. Ron Burgundy. Obviously, for the Germans. And what was it? It was, Rhone, right? That's what they want me to say. Some Germans roll their R's. Either way, I think Burgundy's hilarious because... Come on. He's incredibly goofy. And you have I have the Robotnik, you have the Currywurst. I mean, there's so many funny nicknames that they have out there. The Krispy Kreme. We all know the Krispy Kreme. So I was just engaging, popped my smoke. I initially had AP because he was going to show his side, but clearly he didn't. So we switched back to HE, looking for those fires. That is the name of the game. I can't believe they're buffing the Soviet destroyer line with, if anyone doesn't know, it's getting a global damage increase from 1600 to 1900 HE. Now, that might sound familiar to some players, because that's exactly what it was for a long time, and then they nerfed it at some point. I think they nerfed it because they thought the Kiev is so strong, we have to nerf it. Since it's going to tier 8, maybe they're putting it back. You know what? It would be so hilarious if that is the main reason why. I am trying to fire on multiple targets. The reason is I want to force not smoke. I want to force fires. Yes, fire. Smoke comes from fire, but I want fire on a target. Force out damage control and then swap back. Conveniently, this cruiser is showing a perfect broadside, so I swapped to AP and I'm trying to punish. Not doing a very good job, I'm afraid. Well, that salvo was good. And since he's gone now, we can go right back to HE, and it appears that someone is already started. This North Carolina is vulnerable. He does not have damage control. It's already been used. So all this dot damage is going to stick, and it's going to stick for a long time. Trying to kill him. Friendly battleship is running away. I could potentially move a little bit more to the south side in order to get a better angle for maybe AP, but it does look like the North Carolina intends to stay bow on. I'm going to intend to set him on fire, and I actually run into a friendly smoke cloud, so I can stay a little bit more hidden, which is good. We set the bow on fire, which was my goal. I was trying to get it at least a clip over, and we have, and he's killed off, so. Friendly Yamato is still alive, although both my friends are very, very weak right now. And I don't want that to be the case. It's just the way it works out. All right. So we've basically captured B. My teammates are barely alive. I wish I could smoke them right now. I wish I could smoke them so hard. Obviously, I'm teasing, but it's on a 30-second cooldown. I can't do anything. The best thing I can do is try and engage this Burgundy, who has his propulsion knocked out. Have no idea what knocked it out, and I wish I knew that so long ago. But regardless, we have the ability to fire AP at him, and that's what we're going to do, since he's stuck next to an island. And the AP is obviously going to stick and do a lot of damage. 3,400 is no slouch indeed. And Notser, please, fire AP whenever they show too much side. Just do it. But to the fires? I can't help myself. I always think, oh, I'm going to get a fire, I'm going to get a fire, I'm going to get a fire. Oh, tons of dot damage. Boom, he's dead. That's how I see this thing. Clearly that's not how it works, but that's what I think in my mind. And yeah, HE, obviously the ammo type you want to do. Enemy Kutuzov is coming, and just in the nick of time, we killed off the Burgundy. I can use my smoke, send my torpedoes, and try and engage the enemy Kutuzov. And I was a little perturbed. I was like, "Urgh. Spot him. I am too low. Look at this guy. He is a massacre. Murdering cruiser. I have really nothing I want better than to see him dead, you know." But my teammate eventually detects him, does pretty good damage, and we are able to finish him off. Of course, the torpedo is completely irrelevant. What can I say? I mean, that's the way it works. But look, whoa. Notser, why are you detected? You were in smoke. And it looks like it's like radar. And you might notice, I'm going to check real quick. Any second now. Aha! It's a Burgundy! That means he's using hydroacoustic. He is somewhere immediately on the other side of this island. He is extremely close. So I'm going to try and tell my teammate, the Yamato, hey, there's an enemy Burgundy on the other side of this island, and sure enough, he comes around and he's got a good angled shot, but my teammate is right there. And he should be able to do a ton against this guy. A ton. He's got a huge caliber, and I have the island to protect me from the torpedoes he sent, and it's great, right? It's absolutely great. I don't know why he continued to, I don't know why he changed his target to the battleship. He could have killed me. He could have easily killed me. Most of the guns are in the rear of the enemy Burgundy. The Rhone is just, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. So I'm able to get in a position where my front gun can fire, but he can't see me. It's fantastic. And I believe the Yamato did enough damage, but of course, the secondaries. You know what? We worked together. It's fine. It's fine. He deserved that kill. I'm happy. We were successful. Who cares, right? And I'm happy that the team appears to be winning the game, and we will be winning the game. But I thought it was important that you understood why I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, exactly what was on the other side of the island. It's because of the indicator. The indicator, situation awareness, when it is a radar/hydro, it will be having a little sort of like antenna with radio waves coming off of it. And since there is nothing that can give radar, it has to be that hydroacoustic that the German cruiser has. And he has to be close, and of course he was. So it's not completely ridiculous. I mean, if you just walk through the game, who has the potential to equip hydroacoustic? Who has the potential of equipping the radar module? Consumable, sorry. And then you can formulate a pretty good understanding of exactly where the enemy is. Now, I noticed that there was an enemy capturing B. I, instead of capturing C point, decided I'm going to go for B point. And he can detect me, but I can't detect him. That means he's within 8.9, but he's further than probably 6. Because that's roughly where most destroyers sit. And you can see I'm showing it off right now. Basically, between the blue dotted line and that first yellow line, he is operating. Now, we saw he captured the base, and in order to capture the base, he had to exist somewhere where my cursor is on the minimap. And I'm just going to continue to push forward, because I have a massive speed advantage over him. I know that for a fact. Every Soviet destroyer has a massive speed advantage over their oppositions. So eventually, you're going to catch up to him. And that's exactly what happens. He is right where I thought he was, and now I'm going to outplay him, at least attempt to. I have no health. He has a massive amount of health. He should easily beat me. But the one thing he doesn't have on his side is I have discipline. I have decided I'm going to sail directly at him and only angle with incoming shots. That's why I'm zooming out to make sure I can look at my target, my ship. And he is just taking this. He's not angling at all. He's not changing at all. And I'm like, oh god, now we have a timer because we have to kill him before I die to the fire. He is the only target on the map, so that's the only thing that matters. Killing him before he kills me. And I think we did it. Yes, we did. And that was a complete outplay. It's just knowledge of the game, understanding how far I can push the ship. What can I say? Soviet destroyers feel so good. We got 4 kills, 3 base defense, 1 capture, 78,000 damage done. A pretty fair game. A very controlled game. 2,409 base XP. Clearly, we gave our team a chance. The top 4 were way ahead of everyone else on our team, so those 4 definitely gave us a chance. And I'm very proud of that Grosse first. He did a great job too. The Yamato was my buddy, and of course I'm going to give my buddy a compliment. Good job, good job. Most of my damage, honestly, it was split. Roughly 50-50 with high explosive and armor piercing. And that's pretty good. 1.1 million was fired at me. I only have 20,000 hit points, so yeah, pretty good. Pretty good indeed. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Udaloi. It is a fantastic ship. I can't wait to grind in it for the Tier 10 alternative. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.